Hi there, the name's Nico, and today we'll be going over today's minor patch 0.33.1, which came out on June 2nd, 2021. There were some changes that I expected were to come, and some changes that I was surprised with. If you like this patch note format, please give it a like, but let's look at today's patch notes. First, we have a new and the first skin for Adriana, the Firebat Adriana skin. This skin looks amazing, and honestly, one of my favorite skins that have come out so far. So if you want to burn down the competition, this is the skin for you. Next, we'll be looking at who has been buffed. The first character that was buffed is Leon, which I was a bit surprised with, but I did the same thing with Sua after she was released. Leon's Q, Waterway, has been buffed by 11% at level 5. If you level Leon's Q like I do first, this will be pretty noticeable for those early game fights. Even if you level your W first, Waterway will still be quite strong mid to late game compared to before. Leon's ult has still not been up to par, so they buffed the slow duration, and the damage proportional to HP has been increased by 5% across the board. Hopefully this will be the buff that Leon needs to perform better. This is honestly the best time to play Leon, so if you haven't tried him yet, now is the time. Next we have 11. 11 was the character that was released in the last major patch, and she has been one of the worst released characters ever. They did give her a hotfix to buff her, but it still wasn't enough. Her base attack speed has been increased by 57%, so you'll be able to get more auto attacks in. Burger Queen, her Q, now costs less SP at max level, so you don't need to worry as much about 11's SP. She also isn't slowed down as much when channeling Burger Queen, as 11 is not that fast of a character in the first place, so hopefully you'll be able to catch up to your opponents now. There is also less of a delay on the max charge. Food for Thought, her W, will also be faster to use when channeled. But even with these buffs, I do not think she'll be that good. A lot of fun to play for a character, but that's about it. The last character that has been buffed is Chiara. Chiara's been performing as well as before because of the rapier nerfs in the last few patches that were mainly trying to impact Adela and Fiora, but Chiara was caught in the crossfire. The delay after reactivating Last Judgment, her R, is being decreased by almost 0.5 seconds. Even with this change, I don't think Chiara will be performing as well as the rest of the cast, so I expect to see some more Chiara buffs in the future. Now we'll be talking about the characters that are being nerfed, Sua and Hart. Sua's been doing quite well, so Nomura decided to nerf the cooldown on her Q, Odyssey, so it doesn't feel like you have been stunned forever, especially after using Q, R, Q. Most people build CDR on her anyways, so she'll still be a great character, but you won't be able to throw out as many Qs as before. And then Hart. Hart has been dominating everywhere, especially with the last major patch that changed her E so she could travel farther than before. So her E, Flanger, is receiving a significant nerf, going from 9 seconds at level 5 to 14 seconds. Mid and late game Hart won't be able to run or chase as well as she currently is. Even with this change, Hart will still be a great character, but I expect her stats, such as win rate, to lower across the board by a bit. And then we have a character that has been adjusted, Shoichi. Shoichi has a high kill and pick rate and high elos, so they are changing him so that he'll have less attack power before level 14, but more afterwards. Shoichi in general needs to scale in order to win, so I do expect this to hurt him a bit, but if he's able to scale, he'll be stronger than before, and hopefully win more as well. For armor, the 2 new chest pieces were not performing as well as expected, so they each got a buff. Tuxedo has a bit more defense and lifesteal, and the High Priest robe has more SP regen, so these chest pieces hopefully will be more viable than before. And Squad Leader Band is receiving a minor nerf to its HP regen. This is because Creed of the Night, the arm piece Squad Leader Band builds into, lost 0.3 HP regen a few patches ago, but they didn't change the HP regen on the uncommon arm piece to reflect this change. So you'll not be losing HP regen if you upgrade Squad Leader Band to Creed of the Night anymore. Agni is receiving a nerf on its attack power. Air, Aya, and Isol have been doing quite well with the Agni, and even with this nerf, they should still be doing quite well. The new axe that was added last patch, the Judgment, was not performing as well as expected, so they are giving it a buff to its attack speed to hopefully make it more viable. Axe also got a weapon mastery change, so now Axe users will gain 0.3% more attack speed per level. The only Axe user at this time is Axe Jackie, and Axe Jackie is one of the worst characters in the game, so maybe these changes will make Axe a more viable weapon for Jackie. The Aurora Longsword was added in the last patch, and I honestly saw no one use it. This was an RNG skill amp 2-handed sword, and since no 2-handed sword user at this time built skill amp, it was useless. So they're removing the skill amp on it and putting attack speed on it instead, as well as changing the recipe from Plasma Sword plus Meteorite to Plasma Sword plus Motor. This weapon will now be a 3-zone weapon. I expect this to be used more than before, but with Monohoshi's Dao being so strong right now, I don't think it will have as high of a use rate. And the last change is to the items found on beach. Because bats are guaranteed to drop surveillance cameras now, all the cameras on beach are being removed. and the following items are being increased by 1 to fill up the lost camera slots: hammer, hatchet, bike helmet, snare, mousetrap, and carbonated water. I am glad about the hammer increase because some of my builds rely on a lot of hammers, and adding 1 more will help guarantee finding all the hammers I need. And that's a wrap for this minor patch. Let me know what you think about this patch in the comments, and if you like this types of videos, please give it a like and subscribe for more ERBS content. I hope to see you at the next video.